Welcome to the Build Smart, Lead Strong podcast on the Michigan Business Network. My name is Jennifer DeMudd, Executive Director of the Manufacturing Growth Alliance, also known as MGA. Today, we get to talk with a statewide resource who has a single purpose: to support small manufacturers in all of Michigan's 83 counties. Since 1991, the Michigan Manufacturing Technology Center has offered personalized services that enable Michigan manufacturers to operate smarter, compete, and prosper. Around the state, they are known as MMTC. Jamie Headley is the Director of Business Development with MMTC. She is here with us today and will be sharing information about the organization and a new initiative in Michigan that will make a significant contribution to Michigan's manufacturers. Welcome, Jamie.
Thanks, Jennifer. Great to be here.
So as I briefly mentioned in the opening, MMTC is a great resource for manufacturers in Michigan, and we're going to dive into a few of those services they offer here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, Jamie, will you share with us a little bit about your role at MMTC? How do you spend your day?
Sure. So as the Director of Business Development, I have our Business Solutions team reporting into me. And so those folks are the people who are boots on the ground, out in the field, working directly with the manufacturers, helping them identify opportunities and solve problems and create strategies to grow and prosper. So I am privileged enough to have that team as my team. So my role is to support them and remove obstacles for them and help give them everything they need to be successful so our manufacturers can be successful.
Fantastic. So as we know, and those that are listening know this as well, but Michigan is a strong manufacturing state, which makes what MMTC do, what you do, so very critical. What are a few of the most in-demand services being requested right now by manufacturers?
So, always lean. Lean services and getting a company on a lean journey is such a great way to identify cost savings. You can often find quick hits for cost savings and efficiencies. And there's a lot of, I think, misunderstanding about what lean really is. A lot of companies think, oh, we're a job shop. We can't do lean, and that's simply not true. So that's always a big one. That's a lot of our bread and butter comes from doing lean work, and which we love. Certainly quality systems. Cybersecurity is becoming very big, and obviously technology, the need for Industry 4.0 and options and technology there. Actually this year is a little bit of strategic planning picked up a little bit more. Yeah, I think after COVID, people are going, hey, wow, we maybe really need a little formalized strategy this time.
Do you find that manufacturers are feeling that they need to pivot a little bit, and that's why strategies becoming more important or more critical for them?
Absolutely. If you have a strategy, you're not going to be able to plan for every outcome. I don't know that anybody was planning for, a 1-year shutdown with a pandemic, but it's certainly that keeps you on track. And I think from the pivoting standpoint, we were able to help a lot of companies do that we have a very sophisticated and deep dive market research department. So we were able to help companies who wanted to pivot identify opportunities where that would be, and there wasn't barriers to entry.
Gosh, that is such a significant resource, both strategic planning as well as that market research component. When you're building strategy, you need to have that research to back it up and to help you move forward. So MMTC must have a wide bench of experts to support the needs of manufacturing in Michigan. Will you share us a little bit about the statewide team of experts? What type of specialties do they have?
Sure. So we have probably we're right at about 30 of our subject matter experts across the state, and they are in here out of our Plymouth office, in Saginaw, Traverse City, Grand Rapids, and Marquette. So we are positioned where we can be at just about any manufacturer in about 2 hours. So we can cover the state effectively that way. And we have experts in the areas I was talking about. So lean, quality systems, growth services and strategic planning, market research, Industry 4.0, cybersecurity, leadership, workforce. So we have experts in all of those areas. And what makes our team really unique, what I'm really impressed with, is these are all hardcore industry people. So all of our subject matter experts have worked in plants, have lived on a plant floor. They're not academians. They have done the job. They've been out there. They love that. So they can empathize with our manufacturers. They understand what they're going through because firsthand they've lived it. And we're in about 400, 450 manufacturers a year.
Impressive.
So there's not much we haven't seen, across all the different industries. There's not much we haven't seen. And so there's an amazing group of people out there that are able to really bring innovative and also just common solutions to manufacturers, which is great. And just the way we're structured, we're not like a normal company in the sense, sales team doesn't get commission. We're just out here to help. We get paid either way. So it's a really different environment, and it's a really great way to be able to work with manufacturers.
So you have mentioned your team of experts across the state have practical knowledge. They've worked in manufacturing facilities, and you have too, correct? Will you share a little bit about your background in manufacturing?
Yeah, I have about 25 years. I started my career in manufacturing and, fell in love with it immediately. I loved the intensity of it. I loved the grit of it, honestly, being on a manufacturing floor where things were being made. And I've been very lucky. I've had a very charmed career and was able to work my way up and been a vice president of operations and director of operations and of supply chain for some good sized companies. And I've just been very, very lucky. And I love all of it. I find manufacturing just fascinating. I think and the people who do it, it's a great group of people. To me, if you look at industry versus like medical, medical, it's the surgeons that are hardcore. I feel like in industry, it's the manufacturers that are hardcore and they're out there really doing great stuff. And so, I've been very privileged to spend a long time in manufacturing and do turnarounds and crisis management and plant management. And it's wonderful. I'm very, very privileged to have been able to do that.
And just a fun fact that women make up nearly 50% of the workforce, but only about 30% of women are in manufacturing. So you're an example of a woman who's made a career out of manufacturing and has thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a little bit. You start to see, female plant managers and directors of operations more and more. Yeah, it was certainly coming up in my career. I was a little bit of an oddity. I was often the only female in the management circle, and that was fine. That was okay too. Honestly, in my career, it's never been an issue. I never got harassed or felt like I was, put down or discriminated against. I never had that issue. So it was just, I had great people to work with.
So for those manufacturers who are looking to expand their talent pool, certainly they can look at attracting women to their facility.
Sure.
So MMTC is part of a national program. For our audience, will you explain how MMTC connected to that national program?
So yes, the MEP network, or the Manufacturing Extension Partnership, is the national program. And it was formed in 1991. And so by law, every state has an MEP center. We are the MEP for the state of Michigan. And a state may have different centers in different locations that may be all under one umbrella, or they may be spread out. Often they're affiliated with the university, but all of us exist for the single purpose of helping small to mid-sized manufacturers grow and prosper. That is what we do. So across the nation. So the nice thing is for companies that have multiple locations, if we come in and help them with a strategy or a training plan, and they have, a location in a different state, we can find those resources in that other state. So we can have some continuity across there. Also, because it's a national program, we receive some federal assistance from NIST, and we also receive some state assistance. So that allows us to be more cost effective than most consulting companies. And there aren't many consulting companies that have our level of expertise that will work with a small to mid-sized manufacturer. McKinsey's not going to come in and work with a 50-person manufacturing. They don't know how to do that. They don't want to do that. And it's not cost effective to do that. Whereas we're able to do that.
So if a manufacturer watching is wondering, should they call MMTC? Should they, shouldn't they? Will you give them a reason?
Well, I think any manufacturer that's looking to get better, the great thing about having somebody with a lot of experience who's seen things across tons of industries come in with an unbiased opinion, they're going to see the forest for the trees. All of us are subject to becoming desensitized to our own environment. It's just human nature. There's a point in time where you start to walk through your plant and you no longer see how messy that maintenance department is and how much waste there is. And you no longer see these things, you get desensitized, and that happens everywhere. So to have, at no cost, somebody come in and take a look and identify opportunities, I think who wouldn't want to do that? And it may be, sometimes it's validation of, what, you guys are doing it right. Keep it up. This is the right stuff. It's not always, wow, you're really messed up. Or it's, hey, this one little tweak, boy, did you realize this is a $300,000 savings annualized? So, why wouldn't you want to know if there's things you can do better?
Oh, that's certainly a great reason.
Yeah, it's pretty low risk.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty excited about this new initiative that the state launched. And so Michigan recently launched what they're calling Industry 4.0 initiative, where the goal is to support an estimated 6,200 small to medium manufacturers to be equipped with Industry 4.0 insights by 2025. Would love to know your thoughts on the initiative and how is MMTC going to be engaged?
So I think the initiative is fantastic. I'm totally excited. Anything that's going to get Michigan on the map as the leader, especially with technology, I think that's fantastic, and I absolutely believe we're the state to do it. Our involvement is, so we have partnered with MEDC, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and Automation Alley. So we are the third partner in this initiative. And our role is that we actually developed a couple of years ago a technology opportunity assessment where we could go help companies identify, again, opportunities to bring technology in and to look at their overall plan. And so that works perfectly for this initiative. So we will be going out through the state this year and doing probably about 300 technology assessments.
That's impressive.
And, I'm so excited about this. It's just such a great benefit. And again, there's no cost to a company. When we come out, it takes about 2 hours. Two of our team comes out, a lean expert and a technology expert, so that we're seeing everything. The assessment's about 40 questions. It's more conversational that we talk through. And again, what we're looking for is, what is your strategy for technology? Do you need it? Because there's no sense in going out and investing in something that doesn't make sense for your customer or for your strategy for your business. So we're looking at that. How are you utilizing your current technology? Is it successful? Are you getting the most out of it? Or do you have an ERP system that uses one module and it doesn't link to anything else and it's not working? And then we're also looking at your current systems, and are those supporting your technology? Because there's no sense in automating a bad process. That doesn't do you any good. And so we take into account lots of things in there in that assessment of, how does this affect your workforce and your strategy and whatnot. And we look at some key indicators. So what are your metrics? It gives us an ability to monetize the opportunities and come back to manufacturers with an ROI. And we do a plant tour, so we can see what's going on. But ultimately, after those 2 hours and some discussion of what the decision makers are looking for, we can come back with a report out that does just that. Where's your opportunity? So from what you've told us, strategically, yes, it makes sense to do this. And here's the opportunity for improvement. And then here's the specific technologies that make sense. So maybe it's sensoring up a machine. Maybe it's building dashboards. Maybe it's a cobot or a robot. There's a lot of different, maybe it's, wow, we need to get cyber secure so we can get DoD work. So we can help them lay out what that strategy would look like, what their ROI is. And then, we don't sell technology. So our role is to help them find the right suppliers. So we have a list of vetted technology suppliers. So somebody doesn't come in and take advantage. So we can help connect them with those suppliers, get them demos, and then we can actually help them project manage the implementation of that technology if they don't have a people closet. So if they don't have a closet full of extra people who have all the right skill sets and all the time in the world to go implement something, we can help do that.
What I truly believe is significant. This is significant value to manufacturers. Many manufacturers, they might not know, what's next for them in Industry 4.0, or they're not sure where they're at as far as benchmarking against another manufacturer. So these technology assessments are just absolutely critical to manufacturers just understanding where they're at and where they can go.
And understanding too, I mean, I think there's a lot of maybe myths about technology and Industry 4.0. And, a lot of people think, oh, I don't need an industrial robot and I don't have, $400,000 to spend on it. Technology has gotten really, really cost effective.
Mm-hmm.
You can go get a sensor at Best Buy for $30. A lot of these MES systems are much more user friendly and have come down in cost. And so the other part is just, again, educating them to the opportunity. But also making sure they don't make a bad decision. Oh, wow, 3D printing is really cool. So I'm going to go out and buy one of those and it's going to sit under the stairs because I really don't need it. Right. So helping people make educated decisions.
And so we haven't covered this yet, but I think it's an important piece for the manufacturers listening. Could you talk about the sectors of manufacturing that you serve? So is it just food? Is it beverage? Could you talk a little bit about the breadth of sectors in manufacturing that MMTC serves?
We serve all of them. So basically, if you have a NICS code that starts with a 3, we serve all of them. So, aerospace, defense, automotive, food, it's all the same as far as we're concerned. You start with a raw material, you add value, and you finish, whether that's a cucumber that becomes a pickle, or a piece of steel that becomes a widget, or it doesn't matter, or a bunch of things that become a motorhome. It's manufacturing. And so we serve all of those sectors. That's our niche. That's our passion.
So if a manufacturer's listening or watching right now and they want to hear more about the assessments and the services you offer, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
So there's lots of ways. They can go directly to our website, which is www.the-center.org. They can reach out to you. And you can certainly, connect us. They can reach out to their MEDC rep or their Michigan Works rep, or they can reach out to Automation Alley if they have a connection there. We're pretty easy to find. So any of or probably even their Chamber of Commerce, but they can feel free to come directly to us, or like I said, through you. All of our partners are great, and we all work together, and they'll get them to us in one way or another.
Great. I can't say enough how much MGA and the state appreciates having a significant resource like MMTC in Michigan to support our manufacturers. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience before we close out our conversation today?
One of the things I'd love to tout this. With everything that happened through COVID, I've been so impressed with our COO, Bob Liskus. We were only out of the office for about 8 weeks. We continue to work, we're deemed essential. But he has made this the safest workplace on the planet. And I truly believe that. So we actually have people in doing training. People are coming in here and we're doing training every day. We have a 10 out of 10 rating from both the CDC and MIOSHA for a safe workplace. We have an ionization system that comes through our air filters that kills viruses automatically 24/7. Because we're into Industry 4.4 in technology, we have a robot that goes around and does a UV light sanitation every night. We spray down the office twice a day. We have a cleaning crew. It's like a clean room here. And we have had really very little impact from a COVID. We've had no cases that have come from here. Our staff is all here and we're working, and it's so great to be back in the office. Even that short term we were gone. And we're happy to help other companies do that. So we have this amazing safe workplace playbook that we'll share, that we're happy to send to people and give them. We're happy to help them figure out how to work around the COVID side and share the resources that we found to keep our building really clean and really safe. So very proud of that.
I am confident that many manufacturers will be reaching out for that playbook. It's just so critical right now to protect the team, protect the customers, protect your clients. So thank you for providing that to manufacturers.
Okay.
So I have to ask, does your robot have a name? I think
it has a few names. I think Bruce was one of them, and I believe it's a mirror robot, so we call it Mirror, and a couple of people just call it Bot.
Okay, I'm just curious. Part of the team.
Yeah,
the Bot's part of the team. Now, so we got to give him a name, him or her.
Nobody's dressed up in a hat or anything. It hasn't become the mascot quite yet.
Okay.
But we have a lot of puppies. A lot of people got puppies during COVID, so we occasionally have a puppy visit. That's fun.
Well, thank you so much, Jamie, for the conversation today. For the Michigan manufacturers listening, please contact your MMTC office to understand how they can help your business. You can also contact MGA, and we're happy to introduce you to your local MMTC. You've been listening to the Build Smart, Lead Strong podcast on the Michigan Business Network. Join us next podcast with MGA, and we will talk to a manufacturer in the Upper Peninsula. Thank you again, Jamie.
Thanks, Jen. Have a great day.
You too.